Praise him, all my Israelite brothers and sisters, heirs, joint heirs, adopted, grafted, natural, spiritual, however you may come. I want to welcome you to another Friday night Bible study right here on this channel. Pastor Johnson is yours truly, your host tonight. Thank you for tuning in. If this is your first time, I want to welcome you aboard. Don't forget to share this link right now. We're going to give you a few moments to do that. We're going to be singing. No, I think we're done with singing. Um, but we are going to be praying. We're going to be starting off with prayer because we want to get into this lesson very quickly. Heavenly Father, as we go into this lesson, we ask that you open up the eyes, the ears of the listeners, and we ask that you will just give us the right words, the right direction to take and your people and to open up our understanding on this subject and topic. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. We're going to have a lot of dialogue tonight. I decided that I wanted to do something just a little bit different, and so we're going to have some dialogue, but I am going to show you some videos. I'm going to be bringing in some of that into the discussion this evening, and I think it's appropriate to do so. We're going to do that, and when we bring that in, I want to make sure that we're getting the max discussion out of this as well. Now, this is a subject that we can use this to show to others. This is a lesson we can pass on to others. But nonetheless, um, it's a holiday that really has deep roots. I mean, like strong, deep roots. I'm going to see if my buddy JD is in the room. He's going to tune in with us, so I'm going to go check on him to see if he's here with us. So y'all give me a minute here. Let me just see if he's in, because he's going to tune in with us this evening. Let me check on Brother JD. He is here. So let's go and grab Brother JD. And we're going to bring him in as one of our panelists. Brother JD, how you doing, my friend? Let me unmute you here. Okay, there you going. How you doing? Happy Sabbath.
Happy Sabbath. How's my mic?
Your mic is excellent, my brother. Your mic
Okay.
is excellent. Those that are in the chat room, thank you, Brother Tabadi. If you all can hear Brother JD and I, give us a thumbs up. Brother JD, say hello one more time.
Hello.
Okay, I think we got you. If you all can hear us, just give us, we want to make sure that we're coming to you all great, with good volume and stuff like that. So that's what we want to do. Okay, so somebody said yes. Okay, so we have Crystal Martin, Queen Cleo, Brother Tobiah, Abraham Talbert, Lady J, all the way up in Illinois. We have Queen Cleo, I said, KT, Abraham, Sheila Talbert, servant of Yah, how you doing? Um, and Jerry Exum, how you doing? Laughter, how you doing? Brother Mark P. And Miss B is always the first one in the chat room. So we want to thank all of you all. And there are more coming in. There are more watching. We're watching the views and everything go up. So let's continue to hit that like button to get the algorithms going. That's what lets people know that we are here. Now, Brother JD, this is one of these holidays that is just really deep rooted with satanic worship. What do you think?
Which one? The one coming up
Christmas,
or all of them?
Christmas. Well, of course, all of them. But Christmas is just, I don't know, man. I think it's the hardest one for people to pull away from.
Yeah.
I just really think it's the hardest one. I mean, people will come into the truth, but that Christmas tree, there's something that mesmerizes the minds that they want to be a part of the celebration. It's hard to come out. I looked as early as the mid-October, I saw Christmas decorations already out.
Yeah,
Already,
yeah, and so the reason, so I did some digging on that. The reason why the retailers are coming out earlier this year
okay.
is because the retailers have lost so much money.
Mm,
So they're trying to push the holidays sooner so they can get that revenue to come forth, because we know that this is the year that they make all their money. Now, the children of Israel are waking up, so they're actually making less money because there's less of us spending money on these days.
absolutely. When you say that we are the biggest spenders in commerce of the United States, we
Y-
are the biggest spenders.
Yeah, we make our money, and we give it right back. Absolutely. I have so to answer your first question, um, Christmas is a difficult day because once you come into the knowledge of the truth,
Hmm.
we all have to admit, we used to love this day until we woke up. And now we see our loved ones, after we have told them, reject us. And all we can, all we, all we know is, based on the scriptures, we are not to worship other gods, because when Jesus returns, he's going to judge us for these things. So it's a difficult thing to watch our loved ones continue in their foolishness.
Yes. And so that's what makes one of the things so hard is that we have loved ones. We see the truth, but it's hard to show loved ones the truth. And this is one of those days that is riddled with paganism. I mean, it has paganism all in it, my brother. Y'all forgive the paint on my hands. I did some painting today and I didn't have any time to get it off. But this is riddled with satanic worship. I mean, it's just, I've never seen nothing like this that is um, the historians know it, the experts know it, the theologians know it. They know that it has nothing to do with the birth of Christ. In fact, they know that the birth of Christ is not even in the scriptures. And you all know that. Most of us should know that now. But I want to go into a chapter. Well, you know what? I decided to do something different tonight. I'm going to show Brother JD a video that I have. I want to show it. Um, and it's by this brother. I'm going to show it. I'm going to show some of it. And then we're going to have some discussion on it. I just need to find it and bring it up. That's all. But I'm going to bring up this video and see if I can. And I want to start off. I think it's good to start off this particular video. Let me get it here. And I had it earlier. Um, I want to bring it up. Where are you? There it is. I think it's just it. Yes. Uh, nope, that's not it. I want to bring up this video because I think it would be good for us to watch. And in this video, this is one of the videos that came out some time ago, and I think it just really helped a lot of people. It really did. Um, Come on, video. And I had it earlier where it worked, and it worked very well. And then now all of a sudden it doesn't want to work, but that's okay. We'll get it out, we'll get it going, and we'll bring it up. Um, I'm going to show another one here that we have, and I want to bring it out over here. This is something that I got off of the YouTube. It's on History Channel. And I want to bring it up, Brother JD, because, sometimes if it's on the History Channel and all these other networks, we kind of like say, okay, well, maybe there is something behind that. So I'm going to bring this one up. It came from the History Channel, and it gives us some information that I think that would be worthy of exploring. Check out this video here.
Decorating trees, exchanging gifts, and singing songs about Santa Claus. It's what most people think of when they think of Christmas. But for Christians, December 25th has a more important significance. The holiday honors the birth of Jesus Christ some 2,000 years ago. But we bet you didn't know that in the early years of Christianity, Christians didn't celebrate Christmas at all. In fact, there is no mention of December 25th in the Bible. Early Christians couldn't even agree on which date Jesus was actually born. It was only in the 3rd century that December 25th became the official celebration of the birth of Jesus, most likely because it coincided with already existing pagan festivals. By the end of the 8th century, Christmas was widely celebrated across Europe, but its pagan roots died hard, and for many centuries people marked the holiday with wild parties, similar to Mardi Gras celebrations. This would lead some religious purists, such as the Puritan settlers of colonial America, to oppose Christmas celebrations. In 1644, the Massachusetts legislature fined anyone who observed Christmas 5 shillings, which was a lot of money at the time. In fact, Christmas as we know it didn't really begin until the 1800s. That's when Germany's Prince Albert brought his country's longtime tradition of decorating evergreen trees to England after his marriage to Queen Victoria. When an image of the royal family next to their 40-foot Christmas tree was published in American magazines in 1848, the custom caught on in the United States as well. The tradition of sending Christmas cards also started in England around the same time. Giving gifts is a relatively old Christmas tradition, with roots going back many centuries. At first, gift giving had religious significance, to remind people of the gifts brought to baby Jesus by the three kings. But the Industrial Revolution and the rise of advertising in the 19th and 20th centuries made Christmas the commercial holiday it is today, even as it continues to have religious meaning for Christians. What about the most famous of all Christmas characters, Santa Claus? He's actually based on St. Nicholas of Myra, a Dutch saint famous for giving gifts, who is known as Sinterklaas. In early incarnations, Santa Claus wore many different colors. But after a Coca-Cola ad in the 1930s showed him wearing red and white, the image stuck. From the date of the holiday itself to the traditions associated with it, Christmas has a long and colorful history. We bet you didn't know.
So there we go. There we go. We have that came from the History Channel. So there we go. We probably did not. I bring this out and I bring it from a reputable source like the History Channel because when we sit on there and you go show other people, they say, no, it's the birth of Christ. But as they say, the birth of Christ, and I'm using historians that brought this in. I could use people like Dr. Winslow and all of those people, but these we're hearing it from Gentiles who actually brought this holiday in. This is straight Roman paganism. They brought it in. Now I'm going to see if this movie here will work, Brother JD. I wanted to show this one. Um, and many of us remember this, and I was able to get it from this brother, and he allowed me to have it, and I was grateful that he did. I'm going to open it up, and let me see if I can bring it out here. I just had it up, and I want to. Here it is. Here. I want to do this one. All right, I got it. Okay. Now let me give you some background on this one here. This is one, Brother JD, that was done by, and I'm going to interject in this one quite a bit, although I'm going to bring it out. And I just want to look over into the chat room real quick just to say hello to more people that did come in. Um, yes, Brother Harold, how you doing? Sister Veronica Brown, Brother Freddie Jackson, Sarija, how you doing? All of y'all. Kelly Ming, how you doing? Um, NP says Queen Cleo, maybe not pagan, but a feast of murder and thief. Okay. Um, let me say here. Let me just find out where we are. I think they were talking about Thanksgiving. Okay,
Yeah,
brother
they were.
JD, I'm gonna go into. I'm going to go into this video here, and I'm going to share it with everybody. And we're gonna just gonna watch it just for a few minutes. Just for a few minutes. You all will really enjoy this, I think. And I was telling you, brother Yerushalayim, he did this when I met him, um, just being at the same place at the same time. And he's no longer teaching for personal reasons, but I was able to get some things and use them. So I'm going to use this one here because I think that you would really enjoy this one. Listen to this.
What if you were shown that what you believe to be Christmas in your mind is not really what Christmas is in reality? What if I proved to you that Christmas was surreptitiously subjoined to Christianity with the delusive intent to have those that follow Christianity to inadvertently worship Satan? What if it was shown you that you've been systematically induced into partaking yearly in this satanic ritual called Christmas, and that you are responsible for empowering demon forces, and you don't even know it? Sounds crazy, right? I know. But nothing is ever what it really seems to be. You see, the problem is you don't ask questions. You just go with the flow, right? You've been taught to just do as others do. You've been programmed to go with the program. For example, let me ask you a question. Why do you bring a tree in your house on December 25th? What does that signify? What does it mean? What is the reason you do it? The answer is you don't know. Let me ask you another one. What is the reason that you take that same tree that you don't know why you brought in your house and you deck it with silver, with gold, and various other ornaments? What does it mean? Why do you do it? The answer is you don't know. What is the reason you put that star on the top of that tree for? What does it mean? You don't know. What are you kissing somebody under a mistletoe for? You don't know. So now, with that being said, what you need to do is sit down and lend me your ear for a few minutes so you can understand why you do these things. You can get the origin of these things, and then you can consciously decide if you want to continue doing it or if you want to do away with it. Because you have been naively beguiled into worshiping Satan. And I'm going to show you exactly how Satan infiltrated Christianity with Christmas. The festivals of Rome are innumerable, but 5 of the most important may be singled out for elucidation, viz. Christmas Day, Lady Day, Easter, the Nativity of St. John, and the Feast of Assumption. Each and all of these can be proved to be Babylonian. And first, as to the festival in honor of the birth of Christ, or Christmas, how comes it that the festival was connected with the 25th of December? There is not a word in the scripture about the precise day of his birth or the time of year when he was born. What is recorded there implies that at what time soever his birth took place, it could not have been on the 25th of December. December 25th stems all the way back to the beginning of civilization in ancient Babylon. During the winter solstice, according to mythology, that's the day when the sun began to regain its dominion and begin to conquer the night. Because during the winter solstice, that's the period when the night is at its longest extent throughout the whole year, and the day shone for the shortest amount of time throughout the whole year. So in a sense, there's this type of mythological battle going on between the sun and night. So what succeeded the winter solstice was a gradual increase of the sun going from its lowest point all the way up until the summer solstice, where it goes into its highest point. So the pagans back then took that as a sign that the sun was beginning to regain dominance over the night, and they began to make deities out of it. So, for instance, you have the Egyptian god Horus, who was born on the winter solstice of December 25th. You have the Greek god Helios, who was born on the winter solstice of December 25th. You have the Greco-Roman god Apollo, who was born on December 25th. You got the Hindu god Mithra, who also was born on December 25th. And you got the demon of all demons, the deity named after Nimrod, Baal, who after Nimrod's death, he was deified by his mother Semiramis and turned and claimed that he became the sun god. He also was born on December 25th. The scholars know, and all the elite know, that December 25th has always been used as a pagan day to conjure up spirits and demons. It's always been used that way. So now what they did was take the Bible and infiltrate it and then put the name Christ over it and got the whole world conjuring up spirits and empowering demons on December 25th, when it has nothing to do with the birth of Christ at all. At the time that the angel announced his birth to the shepherds of Bethlehem, they were feeding their flocks by night in the open fields. Now, no doubt the climate of Palestine is not so severe as the climate of this country, but even there, though the heat of day be considerable, the cold of the night from December to February is very piercing, and it was not the custom for the shepherds of Judea to watch their flocks in the open fields later than about the end of October. What the Bible does say is that during the time of Christ's birth, the shepherds were outside feeding the flocks and grazing them by nighttime. And anybody in their right mind will tell you that there's no way shepherds are going to be outside in the dead of winter grazing flock in the blistering cold. The Bible does not substantiate a winter birth, because there's no way the shepherds would be outside grazing flock in the dead of winter when it's blistering cold. I stay in Florida where they have mild winters, and there's no way, even in the wintertime, I'm going to be outside in the middle of the night grazing the flock, and I have sheep. There's no way I'm going to go out there and be grazing the flock. They're going to have to wait until the morning. At the birth of...
Now I'm going to stop it right there for a second, because one of the things he brought out, Brother JD, have you ever seen that video? Have you ever seen this, Brother JD?
Uh, I haven't seen this one, but I've seen him.
Okay. So let me, he's here in Florida. He's a good brother.
Yeah, he's
Uh,
doing something with gardening now.
yes, yes. But in this video, he brought out that the scholars know, and I want to show you that the scholars do know. And um, they know that this has nothing to do with the birth of Christ. They know that the Messiah's birthday is not even in the scriptures. We all know it's not December the 25th, but we know that every Roman Catholic church and every Protestant origin church, whether it's Baptist, Kojic, Pentecostal, they're all going to have a Christmas tree inside of their places of worship.
We
And we
go
know
even
that
further.
they're all going to have a Christmas Eve service, and they're all going to come together, and they're going to be singing, and they're going to be chanting. And as the brother brought out, nobody asked questions as to why these symbols, why the gift giving. But the scholars know. The scholars know. You were
So
saying something, Brother JD?
yeah, uh it's not just the Europeans, because if you look in the Middle East, they
Mm-hmm.
also still celebrate Christmas.
Sure,
But then
sure.
but then they call themselves what? They believe in Allah. Well, now you can see the contradiction there, but if you do some research, they're all one religion.
Yes. And they're celebrating Mithra and all of this. I want to show another video because he says this is what the scholars say. And I want to bring out what actually the scholars have actually said about this. So let's bring this video out here so that you can just see actually what the scholars have said about this particular day. I'm going to show this one to you.
90% of Americans celebrate Christmas in one way or another, according to the Pew Research Center. The holiday began in the 4th century when church officials chose to honor the birth of Jesus. But several customs we've come to associate with modern day Christmas actually evolved from ancient pagan traditions celebrating the winter solstice. Historian Kenneth C. Davis is the best-selling author of the Don't Know Much About series, which we love. Welcome back to the table. Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas to you. It's always a pleasure to be here.
So this is something I've always been fascinated by because the Bible never talks about the date of Christ's birth, yet we celebrate December 25th. Why?
Well, primarily because in ancient Rome, there was a feast called Saturnalia that celebrated the solstice. What is the solstice? It's the day that the sun starts coming back. The days start getting longer. And most of the traditions that we have that relate to Christmas relate to the solstice, which was celebrated in ancient Rome on December 25th. So when Christianity became the official religion, in a sense, in Rome, they were able to fix this date, which some scholars say may be earlier than that. There's a little discrepancy about it, but there's no question that the fact that it was celebrated in Rome as an important day with gift giving, candle lighting, and singing and decorating houses really cemented Christmas as December 25th.
You always say you don't know much according to your books, but do you know why we have a Christmas tree as opposed to a bunch of hydrangeas?
Well,
Are really pretty.
this is another
Being pretty.
This is another
How about that, Ken?
This is another pagan tradition. So Christmas is really about bringing out your inner pagan. The Christmas tree really comes to.
Who knew we had it in
Yeah, which of the wise men said that?
Yeah.
Well, it's like Halloween and a lot of other things we do. These all predate Christianity. But in the Norse world, Germany, the Scandinavian countries, where winter was really serious and the solstice was really an important idea, they celebrated the return of life by celebrating an evergreen tree. When Christianity came in, they started to use the evergreen tree, the pagan symbol, as a symbol of the tree of paradise. And they started to hang an apple on it. So little red balls on green trees.
Oh, that's
Getting
the
a
ornaments.
picture here.
That's where the idea
That's
for
right.
ornaments
So
came
all of these things really celebrate the idea that light and life are coming back into the world, which is essentially what Christmas means to Christians across the world.
Right. And mistletoe?
Mistletoe, we can thank the Druids for that. The Druids believed that mistletoe was an all-powerful healing item. It hung from the sacred oak. In fact, if you met somebody in the forest, you gave them the sign of peace under the mistletoe. So people started to hang mistletoe above their doorways as a symbol of peace. This was such a powerful symbol of paganism that English churches actually banned the use of it. And in fact, the real war on Christmas in America begins with the Puritans in around 1659. They knew all of these things, the date, the traditions were pagan ideas. The Puritans banned Christmas for about 20 years in America before the celebration became just too popular.
You'll be glad to know all of your answers today were correct. You know a lot. You know a lot, Kenneth C. David.
Our fact checker over here.
Yes.
Merry Christmas to you,
And this does not take away, we're not the Grinch spoiling it here. It still has all the meaning that it has, but we can celebrate it and understand where these things come from.
Good day to you with your favorite grandchildren. I look forward to that one day.
Well, there we go, Brother JD. I mean, this guy, he's a writer, he's an author. I mean, he's not holding back. He's not denying that these things are pagan in their origin. And they, of course, have nothing to do with the birth of the Messiah. They all are pagan, and they're written pagan. Paganism is written all on it. What else can you say? I mean, he's admitting to it. Everybody knows it, but Israel.
Two keynotes. At the end, she said, "Merry Christmas." He didn't denounce it when she said that. And then he's said at the end that it's okay to celebrate it. At the same time, it is so easy to understand now. I've watched that video, but thank you for playing it again. Think about this. Are we going to be all judged based on the things that are written in the book according to Revelation? Now, when you sit here and watch this, and we know that many thousands and millions of people watched that newscast, that is a witness against them. Think about it. Think about it.
Wow.
They can't deny that they didn't know because they watched that video and they continued in their sin.
Continued in their sin. This is what's amazing. And rest assured, you can show this lesson to a lot of your family members. They're going to continue in their sin. Brother JD, let's go back. Let's read Jeremiah, the 10th chapter. I want to read Jeremiah, the 10th chapter. And I want to, because they asked him the origin of the Christmas tree. And he says, this is very, very, very pagan in its origin. This is bringing out the pagan in you. So let's go read this. Jeremiah, the 10th chapter. And let's start with verse number 1. Jeremiah 10 and verse number 1. If you can see that, if you can read that for us.
Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. For the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not.
Thank you very much. I just wanted to read that part because it's got Christmas tree written all over it, decking it with silver and with gold. I mean, it gets no clearer than that. It's just a lot of people are not going to adhere to that. In the chat room, we want to welcome Sister Martha Anah. I'm sorry you didn't get the notification. I don't know why, but nonetheless, you're here and we're glad that you're here with us. I'm going to pick this video here back up, and I want to go back over and watch this one. I want to go and let you all, let's pick this video back up where we left off at right here.
Every woman and child was to go to be taxed at the city whereto they belonged, whether some had long journeys, but the middle of winter was not fitting for such a business, especially for women with child and children to travel in. Therefore, Christ could not have been born in the depth of winter. And during the time of Christ's birth, Mary and Joseph had to go back to their city to be taxed. The Romans had set up publicans all throughout the land of Israel to have the Israelites come and pay tribute to them. And there's no way in the world that the Romans would have set up a taxation time during the dead of winter, because back then they didn't have cars and stuff where you can jump in with a heater. People had to walk and had to go out however means necessary, but they didn't have heaters with them. So in the dead of winter, when it's blistering cold, that would not be a beneficial and an appropriate time to have people come all the way back to get taxed in their own cities. Zondervan Bible Compact Dictionary, Christmas, the anniversary of the birth of Christ, and its observance celebrated by most Protestants and by Roman Catholics on December 25th, by Eastern Orthodox churches on January 6th, and by the Armenian Church on January 19th. The first mention of its observance on December 25th is in the time of Constantine, about AD 325. The date of Christ's birth is not known. The scholars themselves know that Christ was not born on December 25th. They know that for a fact. That's factual to them. But what happens is the government sets up preachers to go out and tell you some fabricated lie and have you teaching and participating in satanic rituals while they sitting back twirling their thumbs because they know that they know the truth already. And while you over there conjuring up demons, they sitting back laughing, enjoying it, and getting power. Constantine himself knew when he set it up that Christ was not born on December 25th. He knew that. He knew that it was a pagan ritual that was passed down from the Babylonians to the Egyptians, to the Greeks, all the way down to the Romans. And that all he was going to do was compile it together and have all the Christians thinking that they worshiping Christ, when he knew good and well that it had nothing to do with the birth of Christ. The governmental system today knows that it has nothing to do with Christ, but they're not going to say anything. They write it in the books, but they're not going to say anything because you are conjuring up spirits and giving power to the demonic forces that rule the earth. How then did the Roman Church fix on December the 25th as Christmas Day? Why thus, long before the 4th century and long before the Christian era itself, a festival was celebrated among the heathen at that precise time of the year in honor of the birth of the son of the Babylonian Queen of Heaven. During the time of the Romans, they had a celebration during the same time of the year in December called the Saturnalia, where they would walk around and give each other gifts, sing songs, and have a bunch of orgies, a freak fest. It started out with 2 days, from December 17th to December 19th. Then it was extended to a week. So the Romans of antiquity were already celebrating Christmas before they knew anything about a Christ. The difference is they were celebrating and worshiping the Babylonian god Nimrod, reincarnated as Tammuz. They changed the name to Saturn. It's the same god, deified as the sun god. And they was paying homage and worshiping him at that time, before they had heard anything about a Christ. And if you know anything about history, Rome is the one who branched off and gave everyone their religion. Rome, that's where your Christian church comes from. That's where your Catholicism comes from. The Protestants, the Baptists, all those stem from pagan Rome. And that's where you get your Christmas from. They were celebrating Christmas before they heard anything about a Christ. They was already celebrating Christmas. And it may fairly be presumed that in order to conciliate the heathen and to swell the number of the nominal adherents of Christianity, the same festival was adopted by the Roman Church, giving it only the name of Christ. This tendency on the part of Christians to meet paganism halfway was very early developed. During the time of the Roman Emperor Constantine, Christianity had already been hijacked already. So Constantine had a diabolic plan to gain converts and to have all people come together under Christianity. But a lot of the pagans of Rome didn't want to come under the guidelines of Christianity at that time. So Constantine devised a plan and said, you know what? Don't worry about it. You like that Saturnalia? You don't have to give that up. We're going to incorporate that together with Christianity, and we're going to call it Christmas. So therefore, we can have the best of both worlds. We can have you still worshiping the god of Saturn, but all we'll do is we're going to put the face of Christ over it. And when the pagans heard that, they're like, well, we're on board then. If we can still continue to do Saturnalia, then we have no problem joining forces with the Christians, because Saturnalia was the way that Christmas is celebrated today. That's how large of a scale Saturnalia was. It was the most prominent festival of the Romans back then. And we find Tertullian, even in his day, about the year 230, bitterly lamenting the inconsistency of the disciples of Christ in this respect, and contrasting it with the strict fidelity of the pagans to their own superstitions. By us, says he, who are strangers to the Sabbaths and new moons and festivals once acceptable to God, the Saturnalia, the Feast of January, the Brumalia, and Matronalia are now frequented. Gifts are carried to and fro. New Year's Day presents are made with din, and sports and banquets are celebrated with uproar. Oh, how much more faithful are the heathen to their religion, who take special care to adopt no solemnity from the Christians. Upright men strive to stem the tide, but in spite of all their efforts, the apostasies went on till the church, with the exception of a small remnant, was submerged under pagan superstition. Christianity had already been infiltrated heavily by Satan. They already started changing the day of worship. They switched it from the Sabbath day, which is Friday sundown to Saturday sundown, and they changed it to Sunday. The Romans did, another pagan day. The Most High commanded to worship on the Sabbath day, and that's what they did, the Israelites did during the time of Christ, pre-Constantine. And they end up changing it and adding pagan days to it, which is Sunday, the worship of the sun. They had already started switching up the doctrines, and there was a few good men that were actually left that upheld the actual true doctrine of Christ in its true essence. And after a while, so much paganistic rituals and customs flooded in Christianity that the men who actually upheld the original doctrine, they ended up getting flooded out, because the pagans already overflowed the Christian church.
Now, I'm going to stop there for a second, Brother JD, because I want to read some scriptures. We talked about Constantine, and we talked about Rome, and we talked about what Rome has done. And I want to go over into the book of Daniel. I want to go over into the book of Daniel, and I'm going to go into the book of Revelations. And I want to bring something out in the scriptures. I really do. Let me see. Let me get to the scriptures here. We need to bring this out so we can understand when these things are brought out, what they are actually talking about. So let's go over to the Bible. Let's go over to the King James Version Bible. Brother JD, I'm glad you're here to read with us tonight. I'm going to go to the book of Daniel, the 7th chapter. Daniel, the 7th chapter. And in particular, I want to go over to let's read here. Let's start reading verse number 1.
In the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream and visions of his head upon his bed. Then he wrote the dream and told the sum of the matters. Daniel spake and said, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the four winds of heaven strove upon the great sea.
Okay.
And four great beasts came up from the sea, diverse one from another.
Now, these beasts are 4 beasts, but I want you to, in particular, look at the description that Daniel gave. Read verse number 4.
The first was like a lion.
Okay, stop there. Read verse number 5.
And behold, another beast, a second like to a bear.
Stop there. Let's go down to verse number 6.
After this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard.
Okay, so we have a leopard. Then let's go to verse number 7.
After this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces and stamped the residue with the feet of it. And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it. And it had 10 horns.
So what we do know is that this fourth beast is different from the other beasts. Notice that the first beast Daniel can describe. There was something in his era of time, an animal that he can describe to it. And what did he say the first one was like in verse 4?
The first was like a lion.
Okay, and then the next one, verse 5.
And behold, another beast, a second like to a bear.
And let's go to verse number 6, the third one.
After this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard.
Okay, now I'm going to stop there for a second because the point that I want to bring out, Daniel is given this dream and he is told about this dream and what the dream is going to be and who they were going to be. And I want to skip over and we're going to go over to, let's skip down to verse number 17, verse number 17. Yes, there you go.
These great beasts, which are four kings, which shall arise out of the earth. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. Then I would know the truth of the fourth beast, which was diverse from all the others, exceeding dreadful, whose teeth were of iron and his nails of brass, which devoured, brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with his feet. And of the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up, and before whom 3 fell, even of that horn that had eyes and a mouth that spake very great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows.
Okay, let's stop there. Go ahead and read verse 21.
I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints and prevailed against them.
Now, what's interesting here, I'm going to jump over to the 13th chapter of Revelations, the 13th chapter of Revelations. I think this is important to bring out because you're going to see the same thing that Daniel saw. He sees right here in this Revelation. Okay, go ahead and read that. Verse 1.
And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns,
Mm-hmm.
and upon his head the name of blasphemy. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard,
Okay.
and his feet were as the feet of a bear,
Uh-huh.
and his mouth as the mouth of a lion.
So these are going now. What John saw, they're backwards because the first one he saw was a lion, the second one he saw was like a bear, and then the third one was like a leopard. But what he's looking at is collectively all of everything. He's looking at this beast. This beast is a collection of everything. This is why we call it Roman paganism, because they got it from Babylon. They got it from the Medes and the Persians who pushed it on. They got it from the Greeks who pushed it on, all the way down to Rome. Um, and can you just start off with verse number 4?
And they worshiped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. And they worshiped the beast, saying, Who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him?
Mm-hmm.
And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies. And power was given unto him to continue 42 months.
What verse? There you go. Keep going.
And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven.
We're going to come back to this because this is what this beast does. This fourth beast, we said he was going to speak great things. Constantine, or the Rome, and Constantine was a part of Rome. He was an emperor. What he did was he synergized ideologies, religions. He brought them all together. And he says, listen, I want the pagans to continue to do what they're doing, but he wanted to merge them with Christianity. Hence, when we watch the other video from the news show, the person that wrote the book there, the doctor that wrote the book, he says all of this is paganism in its finest stage, in its highest order. It's all paganism, from the Christmas tree to the mistletoe to the wreath to the Yule log. All of it is paganism. All of it. Everything is paganism. But he says this beast is going to speak great blasphemies. I want to go back to the scriptures. I want to go back over to Daniel, the 7th chapter, and I want to look at some of these blasphemous things that he's going to say. Now, blasphemy means you simply go against the order of what God has. If God says left, if God says right, you say left. If God says yes, you say no. If God says no, you say yes. Pick it up in verse number 23. 23.
Thus he said, The fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down and break it in pieces.
So, brother JD, there is no other kingdom coming after the fourth kingdom. The kingdom that's going to come after the fourth kingdom is going to be the Messiah himself. But there would not be a flesh fourth kingdom that will defeat Rome. Rome is in charge today. The person and the individuals that is going to defeat this fourth beast is going to be the Ancient of Days. And we are going to possess the kingdom. Read that in verse number 21. Verse 21.
I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints and prevailed against them
Keep
until
going.
the Ancient of Days came, and
Okay.
judgment was given to the saints of the Most High, and the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom.
So he's not going to be around long. He's not going to rule long. We know he's going to rule 42 months, but just being a part of Rome itself, this fourth kingdom being Rome today is going to be destroyed. Skip down to verse 25. What is this individual going to, you know what? Yes, verse 25.
And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws.
So with the video we read, we just watched, it talked about sun worship. So the Sabbath was changed already from the seventh day to the first day, though most of us are opening our eyes and a lot of people are coming into the truth, even dealing with this very holiday. So this person is going to wear out the saints of the Most High and think to change times and laws. Keep going.
And they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and the dividing of time.
That's 3.5 years. This individual is going to rule in the manner that he's ruling. Now, this is important for us to understand because when we understand what these pagan holidays and how they jumped in and how they have intermingled themselves with the scriptures, and they have found certain key things in the scriptures and attached themselves to it and have perverted things and brought things in that's not even in the scriptures, but emotionally made you jump on it. That's what they done. Even the kids are into it. Everybody's into it. And I want to show this video. I don't know if it will come up. Let me see here.
Pastor Johnson.
Yes, sir.
Before we go, can I add something to what you were saying, just to fill in a blank?
Okay.
Revelation 3.
Okay. Would you like for me to go there?
Yeah, we missed that.
Okay, Revelations, the 3rd chapter. Let's go over there real quick. Revelations, the 3rd chapter.
I'm sorry, 13 and 3.
Oh, 13 and 3.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we were just there. We gotta just fill in a little bit of a gap here.
Okay.
If I can remember. 13 and 3. And
it says, I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death.
Okay, so how many times did Rome rise and fall?
Well, Rome is going to rise and fall a total of 10 times, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. So now we're in the 10th resurrection. Who runs the Roman Catholic Church?
The Pope.
Okay, so what is the Pope trying to do?
Well, he's trying to rise again.
Yes. So he's trying to bring back Sunday laws, using
worldwide, by the way.
Climate change. He's kissing all the other religions and trying to bring peace, by peace and safety. Now, if we go back to Daniel,
okay,
the Bible's looping again, basically.
Yes.
Daniel 7 and 25.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to do it again because the Sunday laws are not in effect. Nobody's going to jail right now.
No.
Okay, so Daniel 7:25
says he shall speak great words against the Most High and shall wear out the saints of the Most High and think to change times and laws.
Okay, so times and laws technically are changed, but he's not enforcing them. So when he's wearing out the saints, where you and I and all the people watching today go against his Sabbath day, which he says is Sunday, what do you think is going to happen to us?
Well, this is certainly going to be during the time of the tribulation,
Definitely.
because the key word that lets us know that is that they should be given into his hand until a time, that's a year, and times, plural, that's 2 years, so that's three, and a dividing of time, which is a half a year, which is 42 months
Yes. So this
or
is
three and a half years.
this is coming against us
Yes,
currently.
absolutely.
So strap it up, brothers and sisters.
And if we're not in that place of safety, we're going to have a lot that we're going to have to go through, Brother JD, a
Yes,
lot.
sir. Yes, sir. Make sure you
Uh,
call me. Let me know.
that it's time. I got you. Um, I want to show this one because a lot of people want to bring in the kids to this. You know, it's just amazing what they try to do with the kids. I got another one. It's not that long, but this one, I don't know which one to really do first. I think I'm going to do the one dealing with these kids because this is what we try to bring kids into it, and we go to the extent to lie to our children. Watch this one here, Brother JD. Watch this one here.
You know why we're here today?
Yeah.
Well, we're here to talk about Santa Claus.
Where Santa Claus lives.
I know. I'm the North Pole.
What else do you know about Santa?
He's chubby.
Too much cookies, huh?
Yeah.
Well, Mama and I got something we need to tell you.
Can we break some news to them?
What'd you tell me?
Yeah.
Oh. Santa isn't real.
Do I ever tell you Santa Claus is not real?
No, I just figured that one out.
This is Mrs. Claus and this is Santa.
I knew it. I knew it.
Santa Claus is not real.
I told you. I told you.
Do you know that Santa's not real?
Wrong. Santa Claus is real.
Have you ever met Santa?
Yes.
Where at?
Cascade Mall. And the line was huge.
Well, Santa's not real, sorry.
Have you ever wondered how Santa can be at every mall and all these different places at one time?
The more people that believe in Santa Claus, the more power he has to fly.
Power.
Mommy is the one that writes from Santa, so she's lying to you. She's a liar.
Mommy just reads it and then I throw it away.
And she's Mrs. Santa.
No, you're not. Mrs. Santa has white hair, or you have dark hair.
But do you remember one time you asked me, you say, why is Santa Claus coming down from chimney, but he did not get a burn?
Every single person that celebrates Christmas does not put their chimney on fire.
Okay.
Nobody wants to kill Santa Claus. Nobody does.
Well, Mommy really feel like we are a terrible person now because we are telling the truth. Santa Claus is not real.
You are not telling the truth.
You just don't want to believe it.
Yes, it actually depends what the situation is.
The situation is telling you that Santa is
I
not
don't
even
believe
real.
that situation.
Well, Mom and I bring you gifts.
What happens to little boys and girls that don't believe in Santa?
Well, they do Kwanzaa or Hanukkah.
Well, besides that,
You're getting older, Kayla. So it's time for you to know that Santa is not even real.
It is real.
Then what's your idea though?
My idea is that that's a big fake, and no, Santa is real.
well, I think we all have
Case
a little.
closed.
And you remember when you put milk and cookies?
Yes.
I was the one who drank the milk.
So you with Santa?
I was the fake Santa.
So then all this time I've been thinking that Santa ate the cookies.
Yes. But the cookies are really good.
Why don't you want to believe the situation?
Because Santa is real.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
Nope.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry. You're out of luck.
What do you think?
Whatever.
Okay. Don't look at me mean.
The Michael Jackson song we listen to all the time. I saw mommy kissing Santa Claus. You want to know why mommy was kissing Santa
And
Claus?
Daddy wasn't there. Daddy did not hear it. Daddy did not see it. What is
Because
going on?
Daddy is Santa Claus, and that's the reason mommy kissed Santa.
Your life is a lie, Tria. I'm just kidding.
Okay, look. I could prove that you're not Santa and you're not Miss Claus.
Okay, you prove it.
Ask me a question that only Santa would know the answer to.
Tell me all the reindeer names.
Well, there's Dancer and Prancer and Hubert.
Okay, you're not Santa.
How many did I say?
You be okay with that?
Yes.
I see some tears. You okay?
Yes.
Are you gonna steal cookie?
Mm-hmm.
Your cookies are really good.
I make them with all my heart.
Oh.
I think if Santa's real in your heart, then he should be real. And
That's
you should look
right.
forward to him on Christmas Day.
You have everything you want.
So, yeah,
You have me and your mom.
I know.
That's all you need, right?
What's Christmas all about, you guys? I wanna know
Family.
that. Family.
I want you to be here.
Do you want me to be Santa?
Yeah.
I'll be Santa.
I'm the Santa. No. You don't believe me. Why do you not believe me that I'm Santa?
I think you're my wish person.
I'm the wish person. What's a wish person?
Sometimes you make my wishes come true.
While we're here being truthful, do you know who the Truth Fairy is?
Oh,
It's your mother.
yay. Nope.
So you met Santa Claus at your school the other day at the pancake breakfast at your school. What did you
Yeah,
have?
but that's the fake Santa Claus.
Amazing. This is the extent that paganism has. It will cause parents to lie. And at some point, when you start to tell the truth, children are not going to have the respect. Children are going to get angry about the situation. And that's real. That was a real video. And so they started off by telling the kids that there was a Santa, and then they came back and decided to tell them the truth. And it's amazing that how the customs continue, the traditions are handed down. This is going to happen on Christmas Eve. The churches, the Christian churches, are going to be open. Knowing all of this information, they're going to be open. They're going to be open on Christmas Eve, having a Christmas Eve service. Catholicism, Roman Catholicism, all of your Catholic congregations are going to be there on Christmas Eve, having a big mass service, in spite of the fact that they brought this in and it all has pagan origins. And some of you all may be fighting and toiling with your family members, and they don't want to hear it. They're like worse than the kids. They don't want to hear it. You try to take away the Christmas tree and the lights from them, it's like pulling out a tooth without Novocaine. They don't want to do it. They want to continue the customs. And this is why the scriptures in Jeremiah says that the customs of the people are vain. It continues from one generation to the next. Even in the Roman Christian church, the Protestant original church, whether you Kojic, whether you AME, it don't matter. You're going to have that mass service, and you don't know why you're doing it. You're only doing it because since the church, some of these churches are 100 years old, 50 years old. They've been doing it since you were a kid, and you just continued on the ceremony. Nobody has the galls to simply say, you know what? We're not doing it this year. There is no Santa Claus. It's not his birthday. The Christmas tree is pagan. We're not doing it. No, none of these pastors are going to do that. I want to pick this back up to where my brother was doing this great show over here. And we're not going to be too much long, but I want to show you this.
Can you let me expound on you? Because I got to expound on you.
Yes.
Okay. When we watched that video, what was the belief in Santa with those kids, the emotional side?
Oh, the emotional side was most of them, they believed it, but it was detrimental emotionally.
Yes.
That when the parents started to tell them that it doesn't exist.
Right. Okay. Now, this is how Satan works, right? Because
Okay.
if you switch Santa Claus letters around, it spells Satan. So
Satan.
he works in two ways here.
Sure he does.
He gets you to believe in him, Santa Claus, and then
Correct.
mommy and daddy say, "Oh, by the way, it's not real." And
Right.
you really did believe. Now, this is the two-step. I'm
Okay.
going to go to a scripture, and then I'm going to show you what Satan does. Now, when the parents come and say, Jesus Christ is your savior, and this is the story, and this is what you need to believe, do you think those kids believe their parents anymore?
No.
No. Now let's go to Revelation 13 and 13, and then I'll give you back the floor. You just got me excited, brother. Sorry.
No, that's quite all right. That's what you're here for. Revelations, the 13th chapter. Incidentally, my brother, Elder Robert Johnson, he is in his community. They're still trying to get the internet, but he does send his love. Here we go, Brother JD. I wanted to say that because I appreciate you being here on here with us.
Okay, so before you read it, now, those same kids who were programmed not to believe or to believe, and then their parents told them the truth, and now they don't believe because now they're only going to believe on sight. This is what Satan's going to do.
Wow.
Now he's going to bring something you can see, and he's going to make you believe who was not a believer before.
I got you. I got where you're going at with this. And he doeth great wonders. This is talking about the beast, by the way. This is talking about, let me start up here for you, Brother JD, verse 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and spake as a dragon. And he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwelleth therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And he doeth great wonders.
There it is, great wonders. Now, because the kids don't believe anything anyone tells them until they see it now with their own eyes. Now they will believe. Go ahead.
Now they will believe. So that he maketh fire come down from heaven out of the earth in the sight of men.
Verse 14 should end it.
And he deceiveth them that dwelleth on the earth by the means of those miracles.
Miracles. Here it is.
Wow. Which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live.
And he just replaced Jesus Christ because he's coming 3.5 years before him.
Wow. Wow. That's deep, brother. So what these kids are doing, the parents unknowingly are setting up your kids, number one, not to believe nothing you say, okay, because you've lied to them. And this is child abuse in its highest level. When you start to psychologically make a kid feel something and you build them up, and then all of a sudden you go back and they find out, it could be detrimental. They're going to look at you. They're not going to look at you the same. Look at how some of the kids started to speak toward the parents and started to get rude because they're hurt inside. That's their reaction to hearing something that they don't want to hear. They don't want to hear that Santa Claus is not real. What do you mean? And this is what even grown spouses that some of you all have out there, this is the way that they're acting. They're acting like children, and because they're hurt. They've been told this all of their life. Mother told them this. This was Jesus's birthday. Their grandfather, who was the Right Reverend Smith of the church, he told them this is Jesus's birthday. And when they go and look in this, not in the scriptures, and you start to bring them the truth and started to show them and bring things out, and you start to say, show me December the 25th in the Bible, and they can't do it, and then they get hurt, they get angry, they start to respond and to react. These children are reacting, and they can only do, their reaction is limited because they're children. But grown people will divorce you. Grown people will tell you to get out. Grown people will argue with you and debate with you.
Yes, sir.
Grown people will have the Christmas tree, instead of putting it in the corner of the living room floor, they'll put it right smack in the middle and go in and cook a ham in the oven and will irritate you with some eggnog because they have the power to do that. That's their reaction. This is how they perform. And this is, let me tell you, it's something horrible. I got another video here. I just want to bring this one out. I don't know if we watched this or not. I think we did, but let me look at it. If we did, we'll cut it off. No, you know what I want to do? I want to go over here to the other one. I want to go back to this brother because he was doing so good on the information that he was giving us. And then we're going to go into the chat room. Listen to this.
Was originally a pagan festival is beyond all doubt. The time of year and the ceremonies with which it is still celebrated prove its origin. In Egypt, the son of Isis, the Egyptian title for the Queen of Heaven, was born at this very same time, about the time of the winter solstice. The very name by which Christmas is popularly known among ourselves, Yule Day, proves at once its pagan and Babylonian origin. Yule is the Chaldee name for an infant or little child, and its 25th of December was called by our pagan Anglo-Saxon ancestors Yule Day, or the Child's Day, and the night that preceded it, Mother Night, long before they came in contact with Christianity. That sufficiently proves its real character. The candles in some parts of England lighted on Christmas Eve and used so long as the festive season lasts were equally lighted by the pagans on the eve of the festival of the Babylonian god, to do honor to him. For it was one of the distinguishing particularities of his worship to have lighted wax candles on his altar. The lighting of the candles, when you and your family are all getting together, smiling, lighting candles, yes, that means something. It's an ancient Babylonian custom, commemorating and worshiping the birth of Nimrod, Satan himself. See, people think these customs just popped up out of thin air, when they've been around all the way since the beginning of time. And they have overflowed and found their way and crawled their way down into modern day society today. It's the same customs, just being repeated and another name masked over it. Back then it was Babylon, today it's masked with Christ. It's the same exact custom, same ritual, same custom, same worship, same exact God. The Christmas tree, another paganistic custom and ritual that stems all the way back to ancient Babylon. It's the same exact God that worked his way all the way through and made his way all the way up to Christianity. It's the same exact deity. Most Christians don't even know that the Christmas tree is in the Bible. God condemns dealing with the Christmas tree. It's an abomination. He tells you not to deal with it. Any Christian that has read the Bible, the reason you don't know it's in the Bible is because you've never read the Bible. Most Christians never read the Bible. Because if they did, they would know they're not supposed to be dealing with a Christmas tree or any other type of tree, putting ornaments and putting presents underneath it. You would know that it was an ancient custom and a heathenistic custom and a paganistic custom and a satanic worship and Luciferian doctrine. Jeremiah 10 and verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. For the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not. The Christmas tree, now so common among us, was equally common in pagan Rome and pagan Egypt. In Egypt, that tree was the palm tree. In Rome, it was the fir. The palm tree denoting the pagan Messiah as Baal Tamar, the fir referring to him as Baal Berith. The mother of Adonis, the sun god and great mediatorial divinity, was mystically said to have been changed into a tree. So early Rome denoted the palm tree as Baal Tamar and the fir tree as Baal Berith, which when you understand anything about religious origin, you'll know that these are all the same gods. They stem from the same gods back in ancient Babylon, the worship of Nimrod, reincarnated after he died when he was deified by his mother Semiramis. He became known as Baal and then became known as Baal-zebub or Beelzebub. And when you read the Bible, that's the highest ranking demon in the demonic forces. Luke 11 verse 15. But some of them said, he casteth out devils through Beelzebub, the chief of the devils. He's the head chief demon of all the legions underneath him. So when you have this tree in your house, the Christmas tree, you're dealing on a high level of satanic worship. Whether you know it or not, you dealing directly with Satan himself by participating in that satanic ritual that you do yearly. You conjuring up spirits right there. You conjuring that tree is the direct porthole to Satan himself, the Beelzebub. The Christmas tree, as has been stated, was generally at Rome a different tree, even the fir. But the very same idea as was implied in the palm tree was implied in the Christmas fir. For that covertly symbolized the newborn God as Baal Berith, Lord of the covenant, and thus shadowed forth the perpetuity and everlasting nature of his power. Not that after having fallen before his enemies, he had risen triumphant over them all. Therefore, the 25th of December, the day that was observed at Rome as the day when the victorious God reappeared on earth, and held at the Natalis Invictus Solis, the birthday of the unconquered sun. Now the Yule log is the dead stock of Nimrod, deified as the sun god, but cut down by his enemies. The Christmas tree is Nimrod redivivus, the slain god come to life again. So the Yule log is representation of Nimrod being chopped down, his death. Then you put the Yule logs into the fire. Most people don't do that part of the ritual because most of you don't have a fireplace to put it in. If you got money in your own place in an actual fireplace, those are the ones that partake into that ritual. Then after that Yule log gets burnt, then on Christmas Day represents the reincarnation of Nimrod, which is the tree, the Christmas tree with the presents underneath it, because the legend has it that after Nimrod was reincarnated, he'd come in the nighttime and leave presents underneath the tree. So it's a whole ritual that's being done, and you don't have any idea why you're doing it. You're completing a whole satanic ritual, and you have no idea why you're doing it. You're getting socially programmed to partake in this demonic custom, and you have no idea why you're doing it. So the hypnosis starts right after you finish at the end of November. And you get bombarded with all type of Christmas carols and Christmas movies and lights, different colors. And it's very obvious that Christmas has nothing to do with the birth of Christ. Because every store you go to Walmart, Walgreens, all you're gonna hear is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. What does that have to do with the birth of Christ? You're gonna hear Santa Claus is coming to town. What does that have to do with the birth of Christ? And then on top of that, they mix in a small portion of religious belief just to mask it over and to cause confusion and make some people believe like, okay, you know what? Maybe it does have something to do with Christ. When at all that is a delusion and a disguise to what they have you doing already. They're building you up to finish, to complete this ritual at the end of the month. So they start all the way from November with the hypnosis, and you like a walking zombie. They implant it in your mind and working on and sending vibrations and signals into your brain waves and getting you prepared to participate in this ritual. And everybody gets all hyped up and ramped up to do it. When you don't have any idea you're about to participate in a satanic ritual on a very high level. And Christians talking about they're gonna put the Christ back in Christmas. How you gonna put the Christ back in Christmas when Christ was never in Christmas? That's another delusion. Have people thinking that they're doing something right. Trying to have people rationalize in their mind for the reason that they're about to go do this ritual. Well, maybe I can just say it's the worship of Christ. No, it's not the worship of Christ. It has nothing to do with Christ, and it's self-evident. When you look on the TV, you're gonna see Santa Claus. You're gonna see Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. You're gonna see a snowman. What does any of that have to do with Christ? Like it was mentioned before, Constantine mixed paganism in with Christianity. And eventually paganism overtook the whole doctrine of Christianity. It flooded the Christian doctrine, so there was no more remains of the actual origin of the Christian doctrine. That's essentially what happened. And now you left doing satanic worship. That's how clever Satan is. He done slithered his way all the way into Christianity, and nobody would ever take the time to look and say, you know what, let me find you. Everybody looking for Satan somewhere else. Maybe Satan over here. When Satan got his home base and headquarters right in Christianity. He got everybody deceived. Revelations 12, verse 9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. when he operating right there in Christianity. No holds barred. He got you celebrating. He got you celebrating Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, Valentine's Day, all Babylonian customs, satanic worship, rituals on a high demonic level. Now, and with that said, most people are still going to go and participate in that ritual. With everything being said, and they're gonna try to rationalize it in their mind and make an excuse and try to say, oh, well, I'm doing it because of the family. No, you're not doing it. You're doing it is because they've been tampering with the brain waves and they make it to where you think that you have to do this ceremony, or people gonna look at you crazy. They start softening you up with Christmas carols. Everybody start acting funny around the Christmas time. All of a sudden, everybody's in this giving mood and nice and want to give hugs and kisses. Why? Because they socially and they're psychologically programming you to act that way and to give. They prepare you slowly to get ready to partake in this ritual that you will do at the end of the month. December 25th, faithfully, you're going to go, you're going to sit down with your whole family and open up presents, and you're going to be doing it in the name of Satan, disguised as Christmas or the worship and the birth of Christ, when it has nothing to do with that at all. Everybody getting all nice and friendly for the holiday season. What about the rest of the month? Why nobody's friendly then? Because Christmas is on a high demonic level. And the elite know that, and they got you partaking. Like I said, most people are still gonna go do it, and that's fine. If you want to go and celebrate Christmas and worship Satan directly on a high level, I have no problem with that. That's your prerogative. I don't have a problem with it. But the Most High God, He has a problem with it. Because you can live it up all you want, have as much fun, crack open as many gifts as you want, decorate as many trees, put as many stars on the top of the trees, kiss as many people on the mistletoe all you want. You can do that for your whole life. That don't got nothing to do with me. But once you enter into the grave and your spirit goes back to the Most High, you got to stand and face Him yourself. And I can tell you right now, you don't want to face Him and you've been celebrating and worshiping Satan. Hebrews 10, verse 31. It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living God, because you're going to have to answer for it. You're going to have to sit there and answer for it. Every action and every deed that you've done, you're going to have to answer for it. I'm not going to have to answer for it. I got to answer for myself. 2 Corinthians 5, verse 10. For we must all appear before the judgment seat of Christ, that everyone may receive the things done in his body according that he have done, whether it be good or bad. So with that being said, if you're going to continue worshiping and celebrating Christmas, so be it. But to those that have an ear, let them hear. And you'll come out of that, and you won't be a partaker of the loophole in the system. And you come out of the matrix. So, with that being said, now you know exactly what the origin of Christmas is and these rituals that you're participating in. And you know exactly how Satan infiltrated Christianity for Christmas.
So it's time. It's really time to make a choice, and it's going to be sad that a lot of people are going to take their children immediately after Thanksgiving, that other uh, day. It's a whole history in itself. You're going to take People are going to take their kids out to the mall. They're going to get in debt, and they're going to ask, you're going to tell your kids, ask him what you want. And when they tell them, then you're going to go get in debt and you're going to go get it. This is at its highest level for real, brother JD. At its highest level is what people are doing. I'm gonna jump over into the chat room. Uh, Queen Cleo says it's sad they're celebrating a pagan day. That doesn't have anything to do with the birth of the Messiah. Our brothers and sisters are sinning in ignorance. Men, amen, brother. I love this video. Bless you. Sister Veronica, you all are responding to each other, so I'm not going to go through all of this, but I just want to say that we're dealing with things on a high level. Very satanic, very, very satanic. Show this video to your family, those that are, you got them on edge, you're making them look, you can pull them out. You can pull them out. And I know it's a challenge. I know it's a challenge. Um, I'm going to leave this here. I want to thank all of you all for being here and watching this. I did a video that this week. I did a lesson this week that was titled "Arise, Peter, Kill and Eat." I went back and remastered that. And so if you had it and you were looking at it, you couldn't find it, it's because I redid it. So go back there and check that out. Tomorrow at 1 o'clock, we're going to be bringing the Sabbath lesson live. I've been gone for a few weeks. I'm so happy to be back home, brother JD. When you leave your congregation and you're there, some of the elders and quite a few went with me each weekend. We went to um, Riverdale, the Israel of God. And let me tell you, our brothers and sisters up there treated us very, very well. Last weekend, that was the first weekend in November. Last weekend, we went to St. Petersburg, Florida, and I saw quite a few that have subscribed to us on the West Coast over there on Florida, and had an opportunity just for them to come up and show me, tell me who they are. They say, I always tune in, this is my name. So all of you all that's over there in the Tampa, St. Petersburg area, thank you all for tuning in. Um,
So you got one person who I took a note
mhm.
from on the chat.
Okay.
I don't know if they're still here. Mecca Yah of Zion says it's it's very difficult when my husband is Christian and intently denied to seek truth for himself. So I no longer mention it, and this season is the worst time of the year for me. So I will say, if you don't mind, first.
Yes.
Okay. So I go through the same thing, Mecca Yah. So my current wife, she doesn't get it. We get into arguments all the time. She threatens to bring in a Christmas tree, whatever. You've already taken your position, and everything that is being done now is being recorded. So if she's going to do or he's going to do his pagan rituals and you deny that, that is recorded.
That's your job. You've done it. When you say that, brother JD,
Yeah.
they've done their job. They've done their role. And a lot of times, things are done just so a person, it could be brought back to their remembrance at some point in time. Whether it's now where they can have a testimony and say, wow, all that time, all those many years they try to show me I didn't get it. Or whether it's at a time of judgment, Um, we still at the crowd loud, spare not. Lift up my voice like a trumpet and show our people their transgressions and the house of Jacob their sins. The scriptures talks about that the watchman on the wall, when you see the enemy coming, you must sound the trumpet. You must sound the trumpet. And you must warn the people. And if you don't sound the trumpet and the enemy comes in and takes over, the blood is going to be in your hands. But if you sound the trumpet and the people don't take heed, the enemy is going to destroy them, but the blood won't be in your hands. And that's why it's always important. Um, Again, we got to do things in love and kindness. Uh, we have to. We have to be very wise when we're dealing with this time of the year, because it can make a person alienated from you for months. They're going to be like, why are you bringing it up now? So you may have to drop some nuggets and back off. After the holiday, bring it up, bring it up. Or you know what you're able to do and what you're not able to do, and how far you're able to push it and how far you're not. Um, uh, any of you all have any other questions? I mean, throw them up. I will take a few minutes, if you like, to do that. If you like, if not,
Yeah, I got questions. You know, I got
okay,
questions.
sure, brother JD.
I can't remember the person's name, so I'm just going to try to. I try to remember what people say. So somebody had mentioned if we could do the history of Thanksgiving.
The history of Thanksgiving. Um, yes. Wow. Let me look at something real quick. I do have a video I like to show on the history of Thanksgiving. I really would. I think that it's the best video that I've seen when it comes to the history of Thanksgiving. And let me just see if I can find it. If I can find it, I'm going to play it. And I'm going to, now, it's hard. Yes, I found it. So, what I'm going to do, Brother JD, I'm going to go over and get that video and I'm going to find it. I'm going to play it. I think it's worth doing this because this particular video that I'm going to pull up, I think that it's just overall worth.
Don't post it
Um,
yet. Don't post it yet.
okay, I
I'm
won't
gonna
post it yet.
I'm
Keep
gonna tell
going,
I'm gonna tell you why.
cause I need
I
some
just
time.
I just yeah good, because I just stumbled into something I need to study. Benea, obviously you know who that is, right?
Yes.
So he showed that in 1621 there was a Thanksgiving with the Indians, with
Uh
the
huh.
Europeans. But then he also showed in 1637
Mm-hmm.
there was a Thanksgiving that was perpetual based on the slaughtering of the Sequot Hebrew Indians.
Uh huh.
There's big.
And they slaughtered and massacred 700 of our people on that day. And then there was a decree that every year they were going to celebrate that as Thanksgiving. So I think that
Mm.
we should study that um, a little bit, because last year I thought it was because of the native Indians.
Um.
Unless your video already covered that, then sorry.
No. The video I'm going to show doesn't cover that. My brother sent me this video quite some time ago, and I don't know if it will actually play. I don't know if I can download it. I'm going to try to download it. You know, when you're in this format. First of all, let me say this. I thank all of you all that uh, contribute with us on Patreon, because what I'm able to do is get software. Um, I just recently got some software where I can be creative and do some announcements. So I want to thank all of you all that do that for me. So I'm able to get software to do this and bring these type of lessons live in the manner in which we're bringing them. So I want to say thank you for that. So I was able to quickly pour down this video, and I'm going to pull it down. I'm going to pull it up, and I'm going to give you, you know, it's like 1,000 words. A picture speaks 1,000 words. So I'm going to play this video and let it speak for itself. I think that's the best thing I could do when you want to talk about Thanksgiving. You all check this out real quick.
Happy Thanksgiving, America. I'm Donna, and I'm here with my friends to tell you the real history behind this holiday. Growing up, I knew that what they told you in school about Thanksgiving wasn't true. That's not the true story. The true story behind Thanksgiving was after every killing of a whole village, these European settlers celebrated it, and they called it Thanksgiving. But it wasn't until Abraham Lincoln became president that it became an official holiday. He ordered 38 Dakota men to be hung for war crimes after the sacred holiday Christmas. We take this time to remember our elders who lost their lives due to what really happened. Usually my mom makes a Native American dish for us and we pray. Growing up, I would be kind of annoyed that they didn't know what actually happened on Thanksgiving and that they're actually celebrating the deaths of many people and many tribes that were lost. Whether it's to give thanks or to be with your family, you should learn how the holiday was established in the first place. I'm thankful for being born indigenous to this continent. I'm thankful that I still have my culture. I'm thankful that my elders kept our culture alive all these years. I'm thankful to be indigenous, resilient, and alive. I'm thankful for us all to be able to stand together, stand strong, and stand as one. Happy Thanksgiving, America.
Wow, I think that speaks for itself, Brother JD. What do you think?
Yeah.
So,
That's, don't play that at everybody's house. Yeah.
uh, wow. Um, I enjoyed the time off, and I really do. Let me just say, I enjoy being with the family on the day off, and it's almost like a 3, 4 day weekend, 5 day weekend. Um, that's about all I can tell you about Thanksgiving. Like I said, a picture, a video speaks 1,000 words, and of course, we know that um, people tie pagan origins with Thanksgiving. Um, I unfortunately have not been able to do that. I know that people have, and I respect that the work that they've done behind it. But this video clearly indicates that the origin of, if you don't attach a pagan deity to it, the simple fact of what and why Thanksgiving was celebrated in America. They were celebrating because they were out jumping and hooping and hollering because they were celebrating after they went in and did a bunch of killing and genocide. So whether you attach a pagan to worship to it or look at the history behind it, it's almost like You know, when they lied and say Christopher Columbus discovered America. It's almost when they lied and said that we were cursed because we are the seed of Ham. It's almost like any other lie of history that people tell, and it frustrates you. It makes you angry. You should be as angry as this as you are about the Christmas tree that comes in for a Santa Claus that will never come down a chimney to buy gifts and to know that you're simply worshiping Satan at its highest level. No matter what you show people, it's going to be what it is. So, um,
Okay,
listen,
but don't end it. We're gonna don't end it yet.
okay,
I gotta back you up with a scripture.
okay.
Micah 2:2.
Uh, Somebody says in the chat room, he called me everything but a child of Yah and let him typed up. I went to him directly in front of him. I felt so sad for him. That's Mecca Yah of Zion. I don't know. Uh,
Yeah, I already was
you
talking.
did.
Yeah.
Okay, she was sharing more than that. I'm trying to teach my children, but I teach my kids as much as I can. I also sit down with my last ex pastor about the holidays while he admits that Christmas is not of Christ. Well, uh, he called me everything but a child of Yah in a letter he typed up. I went to him directly and confronted him. I felt so sad for him. And you know what? You do feel sad for these people because it's like they're lost in a maze of you can eat pork, you can celebrate Christmas, you can do anything you want. They will fight the Sabbath, but they have no idea why they're going on Sunday. Have no idea. If you ask them, why did you go to church on Sunday? If it's not the seventh day, why did you go on Sunday? The very name, it's just sad. Um, it's just one of those things that we have to deal with. So I'm sorry, Brother JD. Go ahead, my brother.
Oh, okay. So Thanksgiving. I'll just read a quick in the Bible. Micah 2:2.
Okay, you like for me to go there?
Oh yeah, if you got
Micah
time.
2:2, sure.
You got time, brother?
I sure do. Micah 2:2. Let me
I
find
always
that.
make your lessons too long. I'm sorry.
No, you
I'm sorry.
don't. I mean, we're good. We're good here. I'm going to go over there to Micah 2:2.
This is where I go when somebody talks to me about Thanksgiving.
Uh-huh. Okay. Let's see where Brother Michael goes here at.
Micah 2. You can start at verse 1.
Okay. I'm going to have to, let me see, bring up the Bible again. There we go. And I found it. So you want me to go to Micah 2:2?
Yep, somebody asks you to celebrate Thanksgiving and they get mad at you. Now you bring them to this verse.
Okay. Let's go to the book of Micah. Micah. Okay.
This usually ends the conversation quickly.
Where would you like for me to start?
Verse 1, sir.
Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppressed a man and his house, even a man and his heritage.
Verse
Therefore, thus saith the Lord, behold, against this family do I devise an evil, from which ye shall not remove your necks, neither shall ye go haughtily, for this time is evil.
So there you go. So the Lord does not like that at all.
Uh, I'm trying to make the connection, brother.
So during Thanksgiving,
Okay.
did somebody covet the fields of the Indians? and take their houses by violence
Okay,
in
I
verse
got
2.
you. I got you.
So the Lord, and what was the heritage of the Native Americans? It says they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. The Lord doesn't like that.
Got you. Got you. So that video that we saw brought out a lot of history that actually happened in America. And well, it didn't only happen in America, it happened all across the world. Colonialism and what it did. But this Thanksgiving that is celebrated in America, they celebrated it every time they went in and conducted a genocide.
Right, exactly. That's it.
And that's the history of your Thanksgiving. I mean, that's some of this stuff you can find, but they're not gonna give that to the kids in school. And as he said, Abraham Lincoln made it a holiday, but it has a lot of origins around it, a lot of origins around it. So I think that's good to bring it out. So Brother JD, we're going to call it a night. I want to thank you, as always, my brother, for tuning in with us. I want to thank all those that are in our chat room. If you all take some time, put in some cities where you're from so I can do some shout outs before we go. And while you are there, I want to thank all of you for hitting the like button. I want to thank you for doing that for us. Also, if you can share this channel with your relatives and friends, because we want to get the gospel out. That's what we want to do. So we have Queen Cleo, Savannah, Georgia, in the house. I shared a baptism story the other day, but one Sabbath, Brother JD, we came inside and there was a family that came there all the way from Savannah, Georgia, and they drove all the way down just to be in service. And that was Queen Cleo and her husband and their children. And they came, when they came down, they spoke of being baptized. And I knew to go to the beach that time of the day, it wouldn't have been good. It wouldn't have been good, not in the middle of the summertime. So my wife and I got together and we invited them to come right here to our home, and we baptized them in the pool. And let me tell you, it was almost like Peter said, here's water, what hinders me? So Queen Cleo, it's good that you're still tuning in. I hope that everything's going well with you and family. I know it is. So tell everybody hello and happy Sabbath. Sister Soraya Yisrael from Tampa, all the way in Tampa. How you doing over there? Minnesota is in the house. Minneapolis is in the house. I'm sorry. And Quincy, Illinois is in the house. Supermodel Society, all the way from Southern California. California. How you doing, Supermodel Society? Hope everything is going well with you. Glad that you tuned in with us. St. Mary's, Georgia, Miss KT from St. Mary's, Georgia. East Coast King, what's going on in Dallas? How you doing way over there? That's East Coast King from Dallas, Texas. We also have Ashton Talbert. Ashton Talbot is also from St. Mary's, Georgia. So I don't know if KT and Ashton Talbot know each other, but both of you all are in St. Mary's, Georgia. If you all, it's two of you all, if you get 8 more, let me know. Send me an email at Bethel House of God, and I will come and spend the Sabbath with you all. Bethel House of God at gmail.com. Yep, I'll come and do a lesson and just teach, just keep you all encouraged over that way. New York, Brother Mark P. And Miss Martha is also from California. How you doing, Miss Martha? Brother Kenneth from Dallas, Texas. Um, oh, it's her husband's birthday. And we just tell him we're just happy that the Almighty has given him another year to live. It's, back when the day when man was living long, today, if we live 70, it's a blessing. Um, all right. Uh, Charleston, South Carolina, Galvin Adderley, all the way from Charleston, South Carolina. How you doing, Brother Galvin? I hope everything is well with you. Brother Galvin Adderley came to visit us about a month or so ago. He came in and I believe it's the same Adderley. He showed up at Bethel and he wanted to just be inside of service. He came in and spent the Sabbath with us. So how you doing, Brother Galvin Adderley? We have Silence Cush, also in St. Mary's, Georgia. That's 3 of you are in St. Mary's, Georgia. Get 7 more and send me an email at bethelhouseofgod@gmail.com. And I would love to come there and just spend the Sabbath. Let's get a conference room or something. And I like to come up there and spend the Sabbath with you all. Okay, so let me know when we can do that. Avery Talbert, also in St. Mary's, Georgia. So that's 6. Wow, that's 4 right there. Something's going on in St. Mary's, Georgia. Crystal Martin, North Carolina, is in the house. How you doing, Miss Martin? I hope everything is going well with you. Crestview, Florida. Wow, that's a little north of us. How you doing, Mecca? We're going to pray that Mecca, we're going to keep you in our prayers in light of what you're going through. Donald Gordon, he's from Fontana, California. Wow, the West Coast is in the house tonight, the West Coast. I certainly hope and pray that you all are staying safe. I don't know what's going on with the fires out there. Brother Abraham Talbert says, my whole family is on for you, Pastor. We're a family of 7. We join all your videos and service. Thank you very much, Brother Abraham. How you doing there, sir? I don't know what city. I think he put in his city where he was from. If you didn't, just remind me. And I like to, Sister Veronica Brown, Lansing, Michigan. Sister Veronica, I think I met her down at the conference we had, and I'm glad to know that she's always, Sister Veronica, thank you for your responses and your encouragement that you always give. Brother Talbert, he's in St. Mary's, Georgia. So Brother Talbert, let me know, and you all send me an email. And I would just love to come up and spend the Sabbath with you all and just make it where we can encourage you. Sometimes when you just, you all look at the lesson that we did. It's called Romans, the 14th chapter, Acts, the 10th chapter. Peter went to Cornelius's house, a Gentile, just to give them some encouragement. So certainly, we have to do that today because a lot of people cannot find a place, but it's just good to get some encouragement. So Brother Abraham, let me know, and we can schedule that, and I can get me a flight. And notice I said, I can get my flight. I can get my flight. I don't know what city that I would have to fly into, but I can do that. So let me know where you are in St. Mary's or what airport, but send me an email. We can work that out. I want to thank all of you all that have contributed on Patreon. because you have allowed us to get a 1-800 number. That's our 800 number there, by the way. I've already put our email up there also. And I want to thank all of you all for um, uh, allowing us to get this Patreon account for this 800 number. So I'm
Pastor
going to,
Johnson,
yes, sir.
can you put your Patreon link on your videos or whatever you do down here? Because now you made me feel guilty. I didn't know you had a Patreon. Now I got to go and sign up and send you some money here, brother.
There it is right there, www. Thank you, brother JD, patreon.com.
All right.
Pastor
I'm not gonna do
Johnson.
it on the Sabbath day, but
I
I'll
got
get
you.
you. Okay.
And I appreciate that. And Patreon, whatever you do something that is economically comfortable for you, whether it's $1 a month, $5 a month, or $10 a month. It doesn't matter. It helps. Again, I just recently got some software and I'm using it just like I was able to take this software with the Thanksgiving thing on it and do it very quickly. I'm able to do that because when I'm dealing with stuff like this, I like to bring you the best service that I possibly can. Even this Zoom channel is a monthly cost. And I want to thank all of you all that do that. And if you're not able to do it, of course, your prayers and your support, just being there and just being a part of our family, it's very encouraging, very encouraging. So thank you very much. Any parting words, Brother JD?
Yeah. On your, oh, I'm trying to help you. Sorry. On your YouTube videos, when you post,
Mm-hmm.
you see how I can see you give me your information on the bottom. You give me the toll
Yes.
free. Put your Patreon link there because then you don't have to keep posting it every time, is what I'm saying.
Oh, I see. I see. So put it in the video on the page. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. And
Okay.
I should do the 800 number like that way and do that. I will certainly do that. Um, and that's great. I want to share. No, if you tune in tomorrow, you're going to hear a good testimony regarding Bethel. So you have to tune in tomorrow. I can't bring it up now, but I'll do that. Someone says, Sister Veronica says she's the only one up north in Lansing, Michigan. Wow, Sister Veronica. Uh, we certainly keep you in prayers because I can imagine what it's like when you're there and you want to be in service and you're not able to be in service. It could be that way. So our prayers are always with Sister Veronica Brown. And sometimes she can leave just a nice uh, thought and a nice comment in the videos. And trust me, it does, it's very encouraging. It's what, knowing that I'm able to bring something to you all like that is what keeps me going. I'm going to do this, but because I'm commissioned to do it, but it's just good to know that you all are being impacted by it and that you are actually learning from it. So I want to thank you all for that. Um, Sister Martha says your background looks good. Well, this is the software that you all make possible that I'm able to do because Brother JD and I had some offline conversations about trying to make the channel um, more effective. And sometimes you got to do that. So thank you very much. Brother JD, any parting words?
Nope, you said it all, brother.
Okay. Well, I hope and pray that everything goes well with you and your family. I pray that even during this coming man-made holiday, pagan worship day, that you're able to use wisdom and to get the message out to your family that you needed to get it to. So I pray that. So I'm going to end this out with prayer. Heavenly Father, we've had so many in the chat room tonight, some that are going through challenges, even dealing with family members on this subject, some being in areas where it's just them. But we thank you, Heavenly Father, for this platform. We thank you for the fact that we're able to be in touch and be in contact with various ones, whether it's a large family of 7 or 8 or just one person. But we know and pray that through this channel that we're able to reach so many and give them words of encouragement. We just pray that the lessons that you give us, what you inspire for us to teach, it would be a lesson that is of timely worthiness, that it will help someone through a particular storm that they may be encountering, whether we're doing a car cam or whether we're doing a full-scale lesson such as this. We just pray. We thank you for Brother JD and for just being the reader and just sharing this stage with us. We thank you for all of those that are on the West Coast of this country that have taken the time to tune in. We thank you for them. And all of those all the way back to the East Coast, from north to south, we thank you. And we know that there's a school shooting in the California area, and we know that the hearts of many are waxing cold. This is nothing new, Father. We know that we're not putting a prophetic purpose on any things that happens, because we know that your word says no evil can happen and you not know it. But we simply thank you for the wisdom and the knowledge to know that when the abomination of the desolation stands in that holy place, operating out of the city, that holy city, we know, Father, that there would be a place of safety, that you can comfort your people in the time of the wilderness during that tribulation. We just pray that you remove the scales from our eyes, take the coverage from off of our head. Let us be strong, let us be rooted, let us be steadfast and unmovable, always abounding in your truth. Let us be like that tree planted by the rivers of water, that, Father, in the time of this paganistic atmosphere, we will take a stand. These things we ask and pray. Amen. Thank you, Brother JD.
Thank
and
you.
thank you for tuning in. Somebody says, can we attend Seventh-day Adventists on Sabbath? Sister, I would say this. If I was in a city by myself, though they may not be totally like it, go there and see what they're doing. But I will tell you, a lot of Seventh-day Adventists celebrate Christmas. They celebrate that Christmas. And they also celebrate Easter. Now, I've known some. I was a little shocked when I found that out. Not all of them, but quite a few do.
I guess that's why it says the mother of harlots, right?
Yes.
Lots of little harlot churches.
Lots of little harlot churches. Sister Saraya Israel said, yes, they do. Somebody says, Donald Gordon says, Martha Anad. There is an IOG in Rauto. I don't know where you are, Sister Martha, but if you can get to an IOG, I highly recommend that. I do highly recommend that you look up where you are. I don't know what city you're in, so let me know and perhaps I can help you. And Donald is given some information there, but I really highly recommend that. When I go to Orlando, I always go to the IOG on Colonial Drive. There's a brother, Israel, over there who can really bring the word. That's if you're ever in Florida and you're going to Disney World. If you ever come to Florida and you're taking a cruise, you know, a lot of them leave out of Fort Lauderdale and Miami. They leave out on the Sunday. Schedule yourself to come in on the Sabbath. Send me an email. Let me know that you're coming in. It would be great. So Sister Martha, she says, really, where, please? Sister Martha, you can go to the IOG website, and that's the israelofgod.com, the Israel of God, and you can look up their locations. And it sounds like there's one near you. So I hope that you're able to get there and let them know that Brother Donald and I sent you. So Brother Donald, if you can just give her that address, that would be great so that she can go. She says, oh no. I don't know what she's saying. Oh no, what that response is. I don't know if, but anyway, I hope that you do work that out, Sister Martha, that you can get there. I like to see people make that connection.
She was responding, oh no, to the fact that Seventh-day Adventists celebrate Thanksgiving.
Okay. There it is. 224 Etijuana, Rialto, California. Okay, so she's in California, and there's the address right there. It's in California. So, wow. I know that, great. So you have it. And San Bernardino, that's where she's at, Sister Martha. I think we talked on the phone not too long ago, since I see the city, San Bernardino, California. All right. So I'm glad. I hope that works out. I hope that address works out where you can at least stop in over there and be in some sort of service. And usually they would start at 1 o'clock your time, 1 o'clock p.m. your time. So I would get there a little bit earlier than that, 12:30. When I go to Orlando and I'm there on vacation, I usually try to get there at about 12:30, but at 1 o'clock they start. Same thing with Bethel. Now, if you're in South Florida, Bethel starts our service at 12:30 because we start off with some singing, and then at 1 o'clock we're bringing the word. So I'm glad that worked out, Sister Martha. I'm glad that worked out. Thank you, Brother Donald Gordon, for doing that. I appreciate that very much. And I hope that she gets over there. So that being said, happy Sabbath to all of you all. Peace. And this time next week, same time, same channel. And we will see you all then. And Sister Martha, he says 11 o'clock, California time. Okay. So that's when they start, 11 o'clock. So that being said, peace to all of you, our brother JD, peace, and we shall talk again. See you next time, my brother.
Peace.